Sutra 64. Abhiman dambhadikam tyajam. Pride, pretense, and other vices should be abandoned. O Lord, those who are proud of their social status, power, wealth, and education become incapable of taking your name. But you grant your direct personal audience to humble people. Srimad Bhagavatam 1.8.26. The preceding aphorism discussed certain abstentions a devotee should adhere to, namely, he should not participate in conversation about wealth, non-believers, or enemies, or that which stimulates lust. This aphorism adds to its predecessor and warns that if a devotee feels he has overcome these obstacles, this attitude may also cultivate a sense of pride in him. A proud person may think that there is no one better than him. Often, on the path of knowledge, an aspirant thinks that he is Brahman, the Absolute. Whether or not the person becomes Brahman is not the point. The point is that by identifying himself as Brahman, he starts to believe he is the Lord and becomes proud. When an aspirant performs any ritual on the path of action, he offers a ritual to the Lord in return for the fruits of his deed, which can come from a worldly desire. Therefore, this path of action can also provoke pride in an aspirant, making him believe that he is a doer. The feeling of pride in the performance of austerities, or believing oneself to be the controller, can also arise in one who follows a path of disciplined contemplation. These kinds of pride can spiral into other prides, where the aspirant starts to think that he is a doer in his spiritual practice. For example, the temple was built by him. He fed hundreds of devotees regularly. He performed many rituals, and so forth. But on the path of devotion, pride will divert one away from attaining the goal. The Bhagavad Gita 18.61 states, "The Lord resides in the hearts of all beings, piloting the vehicle in which they have become passengers by the influence of Maya, illusion. Therefore, if the Lord is a guiding force and the devotee is his instrument, then the devotee cannot be the doer. I know the difference between right and wrong, but I cannot get myself to do right. I cannot stop myself from doing wrong. O Master of senses, you dwell in my heart, and I will do as you have me do." Mahabharata. On the path of devotion, one becomes a servant of the Lord. In this role, whatever works the aspirant performs, he executes for Krishna alone. Therefore, the aspirant develops no pride. "You are my real mother and father, my true friend and my family. You are my wisdom and my wealth. You are everything to me, O Lord of Lords." Prapanya Gita, verse 28. In the Bhagavad Gita 16.4, Lord Krishna speaks about pretense, and he states that this characteristic is very dangerous for any devotee. If someone has greed, lust, or anger, he is aware that he has these qualities, and others can also find such defects in him. But pretense is a characteristic which is generally not acceptable in a person, and eventually, pretentious persons may even forget that they are pretending. Their artificial reality becomes a reality for them. For example, whilst chanting, an aspirant suddenly changes his behavior simply because someone walks by. The aspirant sits attentively, closes his eyes, straightens his posture, and starts to chant with full vigor, when he is fully aware that this is not part of his daily devotional practice, and he is merely showing off. This illustrates a symptom of pretense. On the path of devotion, the less serious devotees pretend that they are elevated souls, by exhibiting a false outer appearance and showing themselves to be something which they are not. In this aphorism, Sage Narad strongly recommends abstention from pride, pretense, and other such vices for those who sincerely want to attain devotion.